Hello and welcome to everybody. In this seventh session, we will focus on effectively parenting the toddlers in the 2 to 4 age group. See previous infant 0 to 2 video for earlier age group. As infants turn into toddlers and continue to develop their motor skills, it is important to allow continuous and maximum development of mental strength and physical strength in all their limbs. Play is included first, since this is the critical age for a lot of things like speech development, limb development, walking, running balance, etc. In my opinion, the best environment for this age is a park or other safe public areas with a lot of similar age or slightly older playing kids. The amount of development that results from watching and learning by example is astounding. I would like to digress and talk about the important aspect of caring too much or helicoptering parents. As discussed in earlier videos, due to various factors like nuclear families, higher or dual incomes, automation/technology/machines, parents have more disposable time and tend to over-direct their kids towards activities that they think are appropriate. While some progressive positive channelization, care is required, my policy has always been to assist the kids minimally. For example, if they wanted me to push their swing, I would encourage them to take turns and push each other. I have noticed parents following their kids around everywhere and chuckle to myself how exasperating it is for the toddler when all she wants to do is play with other toddlers and not be with the same parents who are with her all day long. Ditto with holding on to kids when they want to slide or do the rock climbing or other dangerous stuff, quote unquote. Learn to let go. Understand that toddlers and kids get mild bruises all the time that helps develop their physical and mental strength and also immunity. Try to be as much hands-free as possible. Flip side is to keep hammering home the habits, traits that need to last, plus constantly spoon feeding on studies, paying attention, etc. until they get it. Please underline this most critical item. To have a prayer of winning the nature versus nurture battle, catching them young is vital. There may be some habits of yours or your spouse that she and you can alternatively try to correct in kids. I say try because it is an extremely uphill battle. Kids are born with default genetic characteristics that are very, very hard to uncode. Pick your war. What do you absolutely not want to see in your kids? For instance, a few of my cousins are very picky eaters. Their parents are okay. I have typically not allowed my kids to be too picky. More in the lifelong skills section below. Digression number 2 is so-called scared parents, that is another form of helicoptering. I've seen parents who carry their toddlers, sanitize them all the time, won't let them near other kids or parents, and are generally very, very protective. Note that at some point you would have to stop carrying the child and just won't have adequate time yourself to keep the child entertained or busy all the time. They then turn to other saviors like the addictive and destructive screen that actually is much more harmful than just letting your toddler play with others. Too many such parents stunt their own kids' development. This is especially tiresome and prevalent during these COVID stay-at-home reality. Remember, the best method is always for toddlers and kids to play with and learn from other toddlers and kids. You can be selective in the company they keep for play dates and such, but I would strongly advocate broader development by playing in parks or other public environments. For all-round development, parents need a lot of patience to fill in the gaps prior to school education by teaching basic concepts, encouraging and allowing all-round development. Basic concepts include hygiene, habits, clear speech, good culture, etc. See discussions on previous videos. Responding to in-session questions, handling arguments, negative responses. responding to activities with direct participation, appropriate praise or encouragement, and so on. If there are 2 or more kids, it is easier for them to keep themselves entertained. Attention spans are just being developed in this age group, and hence studies are limited to storytelling, teaching alphabet, basic words, numbers, drawing, coloring, etc. Some parents, especially of Asian origin, try to cram more by teaching much more than required so their toddlers can get ahead. Please try not to pressurize the little brains, as they need to have all-round development. I've always said that lifelong skills need to be taught as early as possible to have a prayer of ingraining the habits subconsciously or unconsciously. Some traits include but are not limited to not worrying about adult issues or worries, just being a kid, starting to take responsibility by, say, getting potty trained or cleaning their strewn toys or other items, not bullying or importantly not getting bullied by others by standing up to it, developing physical and more importantly in this fake digital age, strong mental health, learning to play together, especially with siblings, not being excessively rude, possessive, etc. Some fights, revenge, being mean, etc. are inevitable, but knowing and teaching kids where to draw the line. Cleanliness, neatness, and other general good habits. Being humble, learning manners, good sleep, early to bed and early to rise, eating good, wholesome, nutritious food and at appropriate time, help with household chores. These have been covered in earlier videos. Starting to pay attention, learning to focus a few minutes at a time, not being excessively stubborn or egoist or whiny. These lines are very subjective. My rule of thumb, if my kids are not mingling well with other kids, or if they are being isolated by other kids for excessive amounts of time to talk to and teach my kids to compromise. Developing interest in various activities. There is a broad spectrum of kids, from hyperactive to need to be told what to do next, and everyone in between. Learning to use the brain constructively. Your role as a parent, role model, teacher is extremely critical to channelize the kids' energy, activities, brain development towards progress and positively. Let us touch upon the important topic of teaching care against dangers. We saw a few in the infant 0 to 2 section. It is important to impress upon young minds dangers like playfully smothering each other with pillows or other objects that impede breathing, or older kids playfully sitting on youngsters, allowing them free rein with adult medicines, tools, chemicals, hot items, etc. Playing in deeper water where they cannot tread, playing at balconies of elevated floors, going away without informing in unconfined or unsupervised environments, playing with sharp or hard objects and or throwing/hitting at other kids or adults, being careless on roads, and so on. Remember 2 things. Kids are not adults and don't quote-unquote get it. If things can go wrong, they will, even unimaginably wrong. Secondly, take time and learn to deal with it proactively, regularly, and age appropriately as needed. Constant prevention and education are the best options. If you don't know, then observe, learn by other means, and implement. Ultimately, you know your kids best. They are your offshoots and you see them every day. The important thing is to be constantly adapting, observing, learning, adapting. You get the cycle. As mentioned in other videos, look back at your childhood experience and discuss with your parents. You are of course free to modify as needed to suit new challenges in this digital age. Remember, even though you think your challenges as a parent are far greater than those of your parents due to the generation gap, your parents also had their own unique set of challenges. How much latitude did you have as a toddler? When your parents reminisce, How do they recall raising you as a toddler? Did you get to play well and get minor bruises? Are you allowing and enabling your kids to enrich their personality? In the next video, we will talk about common minor bruises and their remedies. With that, I would like to sign off, and we will meet again sometime next month. Thank you.